proving to be a Cinderella surprise sleeper club, if you will, in that Big East, while Kansas, even though they can't really defend, they want to come out and show people that they belong in the defending role as the national champions. Let's get our starting lineups from PA announcer Joe Connors.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the championship game of the 1988 Great Alaska Shootout between the visiting Seton Hall Pirates and the home team, Kansas Jayhawks. And now for the starting lineups. First for the Pirates, at a forward position, number 10, a 6'6" junior from Melbourne, Australia, Andrew Gaze. And for the Jayhawks, number 21, a 6'5" senior from Washington, D.C., Milt Newton. At a forward position for the Pirates, number 24, a 6'8" senior from New York, New York, Darrell Walker. And for the Jayhawks, number 42, a 6'9" sophomore from Englewood, Colorado, Mark Randall. And at center for the Pirates, number 25, a 6'8" senior from Canovanas, Puerto Rico, Ramon Ramos. And at center for the Jayhawks, number 52, a 6'10" senior from Washington, D.C., Sean Alvarado. At a guard position for the Pirates, number 15, a 6'1" senior from Brooklyn, New York, Gerald Green. And for the Jayhawks, number 10, a 6'4" senior from Oakland, California, Scooter Barry. For the Pirates, at a guard position, number 23, a 6'3" senior from the Bronx, New York, John Morton. And for the Jayhawks, number 14, a 6'3" junior from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Kevin Pritchard. Seton Hall is coached by P.J. Calissimo, and the Jayhawks by Roy Williams.
And there are your starting lineups for the championship game as the two coaches meet in front of the scorer's table. This one's for all the gold from Anchorage, Alaska. The tip-off coming right up. He's credited with saving the NIT tournament altogether, bringing it to New York again. In Kansas, first time they've played Seton Hall. You see, 3-pointers. They will matter. School record, 9 of them against California. And we are ready to go. The championship game for the 11th championship of the Great Alaska Shootout. Alvarado and Ramos on the tap, and it'll be controlled by the Pirates of Seton Hall. They will bring it in, and let's see if they do force the action as we anticipated. Well, it didn't take long. Alvarado picks up the rebound.
Well, Morton had the ball about 5 seconds, and one went right to the basket. Like I said, they're going to push the ball up the court. Expect a game somewhere in the 70s or 80s. Kansas got one up quickly, too.
They're going to run it both ways. Here's Morton bringing it the other way. Dump to the corner. They want to shoot. We're going to get an offensive foul right there on Gerald Green, their playmaker.
Gary, an early indicator of how well Seton Hall is going to do. Let's keep an eye on Darrell Walker. We talked about this being one of the keys of the game. He's got to have 2 good halves against a good Kansas club. All you folks out there know this Kansas club because of Danny Manning. There are a whole new group of people out here. Obviously, Pritchard's back and Newton's back and Scooter Barry. But these people are playing very, very well right now. Roy Williams has got him going in his direction.
They have. That's Scooter Barry right there handling the basketball. Newton looking underneath. Sean Alvarado, the big man from Puerto Rico, puts it up, and he's going to be fouled by Ramos. So Ramon Ramos, the big man for Seton Hall, commits it. 6'8", 250, played on the Puerto Rican Olympic team.
Has a propensity for causing a lot of fouls. I mean, he will go out there and foul whoever it is he's guarding.
Almost overly aggressive. He will really push people inside. Sean Alvarado, 6'10", 215-pounder, done by High, Washington, D.C. Great ball players have come out of there, and Alvarado is one of them.
Tell you another early indicator, too, is as soon as Roy Williams reaches down on that bench to pull Freeman West and Mike Maddox off of that bench, 2 guys averaging in double figures who do not start. They've come off this bench in this tournament up here and played very well in both games.
Both wins. Played a lot, too. Alvarado gets them both. 2-0 Kansas out on top. Here's Gaze, the three-point man.
He's back. The man from Denver is back.
They have missed that. He's had trouble with the three-pointers, going 3 for 9 in this tournament. He gets the first one. Alvarado missed it. Gaze tipped it. Barry's got it. Randall over everybody.
Look at the rebounded by the Jayhawks.
Mark Randall gets the 2. 4 to 3. Here's Gaze. 3. Oh, we got another one. It's three-point night in Alaska.
First it was Miller. Now it's Gaze.
Now this will make it exciting. 6 to 4. Seton Hall getting a couple from Gaze, the Australian player, who's a big guy size-wise, but shoots from outside. Alvarado misses. Green forcing it. He's got Gaze. He wants 3. Can he do it? No. Randall the rebound. Barry. Larry, you said they were going to run. Pritchard. Yeah.
Was I right?
We haven't had time to talk about it yet. That ties it up. 6-6. Green. He tied up by Pritchard. Ramos bringing Alvarado out deep. Oh, what a start for this one. Three-pointers. Everybody hitting.
Oh, he got the 5. Yeah.
Turnover.
That's great defense. Right there you saw some tremendous defense. Scooter Berry and Kevin Pritchard out front guarding those 2 guards, and they would not allow that ball to be passed. Great job.
Pritchard, what a great line he had. You were talking about Danny Manning. He said, we used to be called Danny and the Miracles. Well, Danny's gone, but don't forget the Miracles are still here. That's what Pritchard said about his ball club this season. Back out to Newton. 3. No dice. Randall, what a job underneath, but he couldn't control it. Green. They've got Gaze underneath. Do not go to him, and it's a blocking foul. Blocking foul underneath on Pritchard. Pritchard gets his first. This will be a shooting foul, and we'll go to the line.
Break out the oxygen mask for anybody sitting around the sidelines here.
Kevin Pritchard, who we were talking about, the starters coming back. Roy Williams, 10 years assistant coach, North Carolina, recommended by his boss for this job. It'll send Morton to the line. John Morton, the senior. Hello.
I think he got every bit of the iron.
Now, they did count the basket on that, so he ended up with a 3-point play. They counted the basket, so he got 3. We go right back the other way and pick up another blocking foul. And Green, their playmaker, standing out in front that time, trying to draw the charge.
Gary, these are 2 clubs that really like to take the charge. They work on it. P.J. Carlissimo and Roy Williams both work on getting their kids to take the charge. In this game so far, these officials are calling it more on the blocking side than they are on the charging side. I think every call has been correct.
Now, Green is out of the game. He is their playmaker. He's got 2 fouls. And the smallest man in Big East, Pookie Wigington, has come in. 5'4", 140-pounder. You won't miss him when you see him. Number 4. He's guarding Pritchard, 14. Turnaround is blocked by Ramos. Randall missed the whole thing. There's Wigington. The Alaska fans have fallen in love, as usually happens. When you're on a somewhat neutral court here and you get a little guy like this in the game, they love it when he's out there playing. Gaze.
Newton grabbed him.
Gaze draws the foul. And Carlissimo shouting out instructions here.
I think maybe Roy Williams got to Milt Newton and said, hey, listen, get out there on that guy. He's burning us so far. He went out, and Gaze decided to take him inside, and Newton just reached out and grabbed him. Kansas going to open up in his own defense, it looks like, on the throw-in by Seton Hall.
Morton's going to play it in off the side. Morton for 3. Oh,
yeah.
My gosh.
Here they come.
John Morton gets the 3-pointer. He can shoot from there. He's got 6 points in the ball game.
We talked about how cold they were against Kentucky and that win that they had, that 3-point victory over Kentucky. They didn't shoot threes well, but they're starting out this game in good shape.
Randall threw that one away, had Pritchard cutting the wrong way. Seton Hall has run off 6 points in a row. They have a 12-6 lead, and they've got the basketball. Wigington, California native right there. Morton looking to work. Bounces it to Ramos. Nice back shot.
Great ball movement and a nice bounce pass. Ramos just laid it off the glass.
Ramon Ramos, who's averaged 10 points here in the Great Alaska Shootout, gets his first 2. 8 in a row now for Seton Hall, so Kansas will try and answer as they trail 14-6. 3-pointer, Pritchard. No dice. Alvarado tipped it out. Gay's got it. Gay's coming 3-on-1. Wigington dropped it off. Back to Walker. Nice recovery. It will be held onto by Seton Hall. A good defensive play by Scooter Berry.
Yeah, Berry got back very quickly on defense that time. Otherwise, it would have been another layup for Seton Hall.
Hall had a 3-on-1 going for a moment, but it didn't last long. Gaze will play it in. Wigington. Pritchard on him. Gaze. Pass into a big pile of people, and we'll get a foul on that one, pushing off underneath. You can pick one or two on that one.
A lot of fouls early for both of these teams.
Mark Randall gets that one, his first. And we're going to have a timeout here. 15:54 to go in our championship game in the Great Alaska Shootout. Seton Hall has run off 8 straight points here. Gaze will play it in for Seton Hall in forecourt. Wigington. First 5 minutes have been an offensive show. Morton for 3. Scooter Berry comes down with the boards. In our consolation game, Kentucky had to come from behind after trailing by as much as 10 in the first half. This ball game has started much the same way. Randall gets the jump hook.
That's a nice little shot that's been developed in the last 5 or 6 years by college players and really made famous, I guess, by Kareem. Oh, offensive charge.
Will not count, or will it? Morton draws the foul. Offensive, and they will not count the basket. So not only do they lose the 2 points, he draws the foul. 14-8. Kansas with a chance to cut into that a little more. Roy Williams taking a look at his bench. Kansas with a basketball. Kevin Pritchard. Barry, Newton, Randall.
Seton Hall man-to-man.
Everybody touching the basketball, even Alvarado, the big man, coming out on the weave here. Randall. Newton looking for help. Pritchard. Barry. Fake on Gaze. Newton on Morton takes it. Oh, he got off bounds. Off the back of the iron.
I tell you, it was a tough shot, too, because Morton was all over him.
14-10. Seton Hall's lead cut down here to just 4. Morton gets to the lane. Nice rebound. Morton underneath, hauling that one down.
Oh, what a bounce pass by Barry.
They got pass by Randall. Blind pass. Mark Randall gets the 2, and all of a sudden it's now 14-12. That's 6 for Randall.
Rick, you can be proud of your son. That was a great bounce pass.
I don't know how he even saw him cutting through the lane. Gaze over to Wigington. Wigington. Morton 3. Ramos over. Got it.
Good job by Ramos. Didn't want to jump in and get the charge. Randall was standing there waiting for it. He just went up and kissed it off the glass.
That's 2 from the floor for Ramos, who has 4 points in the game. Morton shot missed. Newton shot missed, rather. Tipped away. Wigington looking for Morton, breaking too far in front, saved it in. Wigington got fouled from behind.
What a save by Morton. He went into about the 3rd row. Knocked over a couple of Eskimos down there. Got the ball, knocked it back out, and it was saved, and they're going to go to the line, and Wigington's going to shoot, too. Look at this save. Got the camera guy almost.
Wigington, foreign territory there in the lane for the 5'4" guard. Goes to the line here. We'll get a couple of, at least one substitution. Franz Volsey has come in. And Lincoln Miner has come into the ball game. It's the only time we may get to say this. Wigington leads in rebounds with 2.
Oh, I hope somebody at Seton Hall is taping this game. Save it for him. Save it for him.
17-12. 18-12. Pookie puts it in. West in the game now. Larry was talking about Freeman West, 34, who just came into the game. There's Miner, Lincoln Miner, just in the game. Missed that one. Ramos, strong rebound. Wigington trying to force it.
Roy Williams has got 4 new players in there. Only one left on the floor, the starter, Kevin Pritchard.
Wigington, nice feed off Ramos. Westwater wasn't expecting that one. It hit him, bounced off. Back the other way. Miner, Lincoln Miner, Maddox. He gets the bounce.
I'm telling you, Maddox and West coming off of that bench are as good a 2 substitutes as you're going to see. They are excellent players.
First two for Maddox, the sophomore. Gaze, another three-pointer. Long way out that time.
That one came from the outback region.
That was. Volsey got the rebound. Gaze, who struggled with the three-pointers coming into this game, just 3 for 9, has picked up a couple, 2 for 4 in this game. Wigington, plenty of time on the clock here. Morton started to drive. Minor reached in. Lincoln Minor, the senior, reaching around, called on the foul.
Gary, I've noticed when John Morton gets the basketball at the top of the key right there, he always penetrates to the free throw line. And if he gets the shot, he'll take it. And sometimes he takes an off-balance shot. But oftentimes he'll find somebody loose or open in there, and it's a little penetration. He doesn't look very quick when he takes the ball in there, but he's very effective at it.
Always goes to his right. Ball is stolen from Wigington. 2-on-2 for Lincoln Minor, the underhander. Nice follow-up. Good play.
Well,
Jeff Geldner.
There's a great lesson right there. Don't ever assume a guy's going to make a layup. Always follow up and make sure.
Gelder was there. He just came off the bench. Geldner gets a couple, and it's an 18-16 game. Seton Hall seeing their lead cut down to 2. Morton. Kansas doing this with the guys off the bench. Ramos tied up in the corner, and a foul will be called. It's going to be a blocking foul as Ramos tried to turn.
I think maybe it's going to go against Lincoln. Lincoln Minor is going to get the foul down underneath. He was holding.
Lincoln Minor right there. Second personal foul on him.
Morton tried to post him up in there, and he wasn't going to let him. He just reached over and grabbed him.
Ramos coming out of the ball game now for Seton Hall as they make changes. Walker back in. Darrell Walker. There you see Ramos on the bench. Gaze puts it in play. Wigington. 12:07 to go here in the first half. There's Walker. Nice play, Maddox, but he got a piece of it. Maddox almost had the clean block.
What happened was Geldner missed the steal. When he went for the ball and missed it, it put pressure on that defense underneath, and it caused Maddox to have to come out and make the foul. Watch it again. Ball reverses. Walker's on the outside. Now look at the miss right there. You see Geldner missed. Now Maddox has to come over and help, and that's when he created the foul.
And as we mentioned earlier, Walker had a big second half in the last game played by Seton Hall against Kentucky. Now the Jayhawks will change it up again. 1, 2, 3, 4 changes made. And obviously in this situation we're going to see the starters going in and out as a group right now. As you see the bench going back. Pritchard, one of the starters, also has gone out with that group, so they're really moving them around. Walker gets his first point of the game. 19-16.
He may need a lot of that bench tonight. They've already committed 7 fouls. We still got 12 minutes to go in the first half.
A lot of fouls early. Missed it. Randall with a rebound. Kansas coming down quickly. Thought about 3. Randall. Newton unable to get anything off. Gelder from outside for 3. No dice on that one. Seton Hall controlling the boards. Gaze decides to go in, but he turned it over. Travel. And with that, we'll get a timeout. 11:43 left. Great Alaska Shootout Championship. Seton Hall leading it.
We said these two clubs would run tonight, and they have. Watch this outlet pass, Scooterberry down the right side, and you got to take some risk once in a while. Look at that bounce pass. Boy, is that great? Almost a great steal by Walker, but instead was picked up on the inside by Mark Randall, who laid it in. Give Barry a lot of credit. That's a big risk to take to bounce a ball like that. That's a tough bounce pass even for a guy to reach down and pick up.
He got it where it could be handled, though. 19-16, the turnovers here. Seton Hall, that's costing them. Kansas has given up just 1. Newton into forecourt for the Jayhawks. Kansas, the home club here in this championship game of the Great Alaska Shootout. Geldner, guarded by Gaze. Knocked away. Gaze tipped that one.
Well, a lot of screening, a lot of bumping going on inside.
That one's thrown away. Somebody tipped it, though, and it'll stay at this end. Pretty good press by Seton Hall here in their half-court defense. B.J. Carlesimo, the coach of the Seton Hall Pirates, looking on. Did not get that turnover that he wanted.
A little surprised that Seton Hall turned the ball over so many times.
That's for 3 points, and that is 3 points. That's 5 points picked up in the game, and Kansas getting it from Milt Newton. Ties this game up at 19-19. So they've come back with it. Second time it's been tied. Tap up. Nice move in. Seton Hall getting help from Franz Volsey off the bench.
Well, that's a good tip in by Volsey. Almost Randall. He slapped it away. Good play by Walker.
Walker to Volsey to Wigington. And that's the way they like to run it. Again, John Morton. Morton getting it. He's got 8 points in the ball game now. 23-19, just like that, the tie game. Turned over. Randall was open. Did he get pushed before? Blocking foul. Going to be on the Jayhawks.
Oh, boy, you talk about a tough break for Kansas. Milton Newton's going to get a blocking foul there, and they had a basket on the underneath. Randall had sealed off his defensive player and had gone to the basket and laid it in, and they got a blocking foul on Newton, which negates the basket. Look at this. See that? He's wide open, and you see the foul at the top of the circle away from the ball. Boy, that's a costly foul.
And that's 3 fouls on Newton now, and that is the 7th foul committed in this game by the Jayhawks. Awful early for that. Seton Hall has lived and died in this series here in the Great Alaska Shootout on the foul line. They're 42 for 52, 80% effective from the foul line, and they've had to have it because Seton Hall has not had particularly good shooting percentage from the floor. They're only 45%.
I wonder what the discussion is over the table.
Checking at the table on fouls here. P.J. Carlesimo and Roy Williams, the coaches, both standing back and looking. And now they're going to bring John Morton back into the game. Cooper had come in to replace him, but Morton's the one who's going to shoot. So they were checking to see who was supposed to be shooting the foul. So Morton toweled down a little bit, comes back 1-1. He's got it 5 for 6 from the line now for Seton Hall early in this game. That's 9 points picked up already by Morton.
Kansas hit that 3-point shot to tie the basketball game, and Seton Hall has run off 6 straight.
Morton puts it in. He gets both ends of it. Now he'll come out, and Cooper comes into the ball game. Michael Cooper, a junior. And the Jayhawks now trailing 25-19 with 10:32 remaining to go here in the Great Alaska Shootout Championship game.
Very important point here as we watch Scooter Berry try for 3 and miss it. They got it. Seton Hall is holding it very well with Gerald Green on the bench. They're up by 6, and their leading point guard is sitting over there and has been since the opening minute.
Darrell Walker traveled with the basketball after coming down with a rebound. That's another turnover. Seton Hall now 7 turnovers. Kansas just 3. Kellner will play it in. Minor, Berry, Wigington on him. Maddox out deep with Geldner. Berry, Minor. Minor will shoot from outside. Randall, Berry. Everybody moving. Geldner, Minor. Baseline Berry underneath Geldner. He's got some room. Put it up and got fouled. That was actually, I think, a pass, not a shot.
Pretty good defense that time by Seton Hall. Kansas was moving the basketball around. Did a nice job of shutting it down.
Great Alaska Shootout. This is the championship game here. The final one from Anchorage, Alaska. Seton Hall leading Kansas as Kentucky came from behind in our preliminary game to come away with a 89-71 win over California. And now we are down to this one. A big crowd on hand for it. Geldner will be shooting. He's got 3 in the game.
There's Roy Williams. Young but energetic coach of the Kansas Jayhawks.
Geldner's second one is up, and it is good. So Jeff Geldner gets a couple, and it's 25-21. Pritchett coming back into the game for the Jayhawks. Kansas starting their season out 2-0 here. Their first game's right here in the Great Alaska Shootout. They're going for their 3rd here tonight. Seton Hall, same way. They also started their season here 2-0. Wigington, Pritchard, Geldner both on him.
Nice trap. 1-3-1. Geldner, Pritchard right there.
Wigington, he likes to drive and dish.
Look at that penetration.
Walker.
Yes. The little guy. He goes down the lane. Finds Walker down there waiting for him. Says, give me the ball.
Lose him in the trees. Walker's got 3. Minor looking underneath. Stop. Maddox, ate it. Jump ball. It'll be Kansas basketball by the point of the arrow.
P.J. Carlissimo looked over at the scorer's table. There are 2 arrows over there. One is orange and one is white. He said, I want the orange one. It's pointing our way.
Wrong one. Randall, Minor, Maddox, Pritchard. Geldner with Gaze cutting around the pick to defend him. Minor looking underneath again. Takes it back. Over Cooper. Geldner tipped it. Maddox. Tough shot. Cooper tipped it. A lot of tipping underneath, and Walker comes down.
Big rebound by Walker.
Wigington brings it up, 27-21. Seton Hall leading. Williams up shouting, and the pushing going on underneath. The foul will be picked up by the Jayhawks, and it'll be Maddox.
The inside play is getting a little rough.
A little rough. There are some elbows up in the air.
High elbowing.
Maddox with his second. He fouled Cooper. Michael Cooper's a junior, 6'5", 215 pounds. He and Maddox go at it. Talking about some size. Maddox 6'8", 195. Cooper gets the first.
Volsey was shooting.
Volsey, rather. And that makes it 28-21.
You know, Gary, I attended a couple of officials clinics back in the fall to look at the rules changes, and I heard a lot of officials talking about the changes they were going to make in the post play to try to clean it up. I haven't seen any change. It's still rough.
You still better have the padding on underneath. Morton comes back into the game. Franz Volsey. And he's got 2 points. 29-21, 8-point lead now. As Seton Hall again pushing it out a little bit here. They jumped out to the early lead. Kansas had to come back once. Now challenged to do it again. Now to 8:45 remaining here, first half. Lincoln Minor. Pritchard. Maddox. Boogie Wigington just snuck in and knocked it away. Wigington. Morton just back in. 3. Maddox with a rebound. We're running this one. Randall. Geldner looking underneath for Maddox, goes back door to Randall. Pritchard, 3. Morton's got the rebound. End to end. Good pass to Cooper. What a great man. That's the way to finish off a play. Morton looked up and Cooper made the break, and he laid it right down on the floor to him. Beautiful pass. 10-point lead. Biggest of the game. Seton Hall's got it. Kansas going to make some more mass substitutions. Randall. Pritchard. Seton Hall showing some good D out here. They're working at it. Geldner. Good block from behind again by Morton, but I think a foul out in front on Walker, or tipped off Walker. No foul. And here we go again. Everybody substituting. Barry, West, and we'll regroup for you when we come back. This is the final of the Great Alaska Shootout. Boogie Wigington. We know he's the smallest player in the Big East, maybe in the country. Look at that dish inside. Walker's right there to get it. Watch Morton on the other end. Look at this bounce pass. Cooper picks it up and just lays it in. Excellent play. Well, that's the way you play the game. That's a feed, isn't it? Yes, sir. You get right down there on that break. You look for the guy breaking from the wings, and Cooper got there. 3-point advantage to Seton Hall here. Gaze has had a couple of those 3-pointers. Pritchard trying to penetrate. Over Morton. Good play. Pritchard went down after he put it up. 4 points for Kevin Pritchard. 31-23. Seton Hall has scored 12 of the last 16 here. That's given them the lead. Morton got in, but no place to go with the basketball. Gaze guarded by Pritchard. Tough picks. Gaze rams it home and won't count, charging. Well, what a tough break for the Pirates. Gaze made a great drive down the right side. Went straight in. Let's take a look at it. Block or charge? I don't know. Looked like he might have been moving. Mighty close call. Geldner took it. They're all close. They are. The officials are 4. Alvarado to Pritchard. 6:55 to go here in the first half. Geldner gets it underneath. There's that jump hook shot again. Freeman West to be a favorite shot. Freeman West off the bench gets his first 2. 31-25. The Jayhawks cutting into the lead by Seton Hall. Underneath Ramos for 2.
But Seton Hall is doing such a great job of getting the ball inside.
8 for Ramos. Pritchard. And a whistle, and again underneath here as they're starting to watch underneath on the pushing that's going on.
Walker, Cooper, and Ramos, you talk about some wide bodies. Those 3 guys take up some space in there.
Our officials, Dave Dodge, Blaine Sylvester, and Bob Simpson. The ACC, Alaska, and Pac-10 represented. PJ Carlesimo. Instructions rendered.
I got it calculated at 710 pounds between those 3 guys.
That'll do it.
That's a lot of beef.
Anthony Avent coming into the game. Roy Williams working his bench.
I guess up here we could say that's a lot of moose.
It's a lot of moose up here. West, Freeman West, the junior. He's got Freeman West. Makes it a 33-26 game. West, a junior college player. Averaged over 19 points in his junior college days.
He came off the bench against Cal, had 15 points and 8 rebounds in 16 minutes.
That's what can really help you. The junior college players, when they are picked up, have either 1 or 2 years. Stolen by Pritchard. Here's Gelder by himself.
Boy, nice play by Pritchard. He got the steal, they got the assist.
33-28. Jayhawks making the run now. 6 for Gelder in the game. And now Seton Hall decides maybe we ought to slow this down just a little bit. Gaze. Good pressure now by Kansas defensively. Ramos. We were looking for Gaze cutting, couldn't find anybody. Gaze back out again. Morton. Calling the set play. John Morton, the senior.
I wonder what the key is to get Kansas on that trap. Pritchard's working his way back and forth. Seton Hall puts a 2-guard front out there. That's a charge. No question. Yeah.
John Morton,
another foul.
Boy, oh boy, they are piling up the turnovers as well. Seton Hall with 9 turnovers in the game now. Roy Williams, Kansas club. Chance to take advantage of the turnovers. Morton, with his second, goes to the bench.
Into the ball game for the Pirates.
Kansas has now come back, scored 7 out of the last 9, so it's their turn to run. And we'll get substitutions in here before we get the play in. Avent's coming out of the game for Seton Hall. Volsey has come back in. Lincoln Miners come in now for Kansas. Pritchard bringing it up with Wigington on him. Green still sitting on the bench. Gerald Green of Seton Hall. That one's just thrown away.
Bad pass by West. It looked like Randall was trying to establish a post position in there, looking for the pass, and he just threw it over his head.
Both these teams right now seem to be playing a better brand of basketball when they can just run it up and down the court. 33-28, Seton Hall on top. Volsey, who just came back into the game to Wigington. He's working, but Gerald Green is the playmaker. Volsey could not get that one to go. Cooper missed it. 3rd rebound picked up by Scooter Berry in the game. Berry brings it all the way down. Pritchard, Randall, Lincoln Miner working it quickly to West.
I'm telling you, Gary, he is a super sub. He comes off of that bench against Kansas, everything they want.
And that one's going to be knocked away. It will be controlled at the near end, though, by Seton Hall.
No time to celebrate, though, because when that ball goes through the net, Seton Hall's got it coming up the floor quickly.
They just turn it and run it. Seton Hall will play it on the baseline. Gaze. And he took too long. Another turnover. That's number 10 for Seton Hall.
Watch Freeman West work this baseline. He goes to the other side, got it against Volsey, turns, shoots a little jump shot on the baseline, nothing but the cords.
You know, Freeman West is one of those guys, Larry. It looks like he can come in, and he's heated already, even though he hasn't played. He comes in as though he's been playing for 2 or 3 minutes. He's already warm. Nice backdoor. Pritchard from Randall.
That's the way you release pressure. You take the backdoor cut, the pass, and lay it in.
33-32. Wigington Gaze, 3. That's 3 of them. He's got 9 points, and he's 3 for 4. 3-point range, and he knocked the pass away. And he can't save it in. And he tried to do it all on that little series.
A little bit of a risky pass, I thought, that time by Pritchard to try to throw that ball about 50 feet. And there were a lot of blue jerseys between he and the man he was trying to throw it to. Andrew was trying to explain to Dave Dodge exactly what happened.
Randall at the minor. 36-32. Seton Hall by 4. Pritchard working on Gaze. Nice switch off. West has position. Banged it up. Scooter Berry.
Oh, what a tough shot. He had a nice easy one. Didn't know whether to shoot it over the rim or play it off the glass, and he chose the glass, and it was the wrong decision.
Wigington looking back for instructions from the bench from P.J. Carlesimo. Down to 3:39 to go here in the first half of the championship game of the Great Alaska Shootout. Underneath, Volsey on West.
Well, Seton Hall is having a lot of success getting that inlet pass. They just dish it down in on the low block, and they just turn and shoot it in.
That's 4 points picked up by Volsey. He's coming off the bench for Seton Hall. Lincoln Minor. Berry. Everybody moving. Randall. He's got a good outside shot for a big guy.
Yeah, Ramos is going to have to play him pretty honest because he can go out 15 feet and shoot.
Randall's got 8 points now. Pritchard on Wigington. Cooper, nice pass, push off Ramos. Yes. Ramos offensive, trying to get position, just shoved off underneath.
But we had the right angle on that, didn't we? Sitting here looking at it, you can see right there, he just took that arm and just pushed Randall right away.
And a referee behind him with the right position as well. And we'll go to 1-1.
Watch it again. Watch 25. Now watch Ramos. Randall's trying to get around him right there. We may not be able to see it from there. Now it's a bad angle, but with that left arm, he just kind of shoved him away to catch it.
I want to recognize some of the people working with us, Great Alaska Shootout. People on the cameras, Trent McNeely, Gavin Reed, Steve Racheknik, Tom Morgan, Dave Bellamy, Bill Walzak, Steve Moras, Mike Netterbrook, Steve Williams, Mark Robinson. They've been working the cameras here for our Great Alaska coverage. We'll tell you about some of the other people, too.
Been excellent.
They have excellent coverage and a lot of work. Randall puts it in. 38-35. Randall will go again. Looking for double figures right here. Got it. Randall makes both for Kansas. And with 3:03 left, we've got a timeout here, and it's a 2-point game again, 38-36. P.J. Carlesimo of Seton Hall almost lost his job last season. They did not get off to a good start, and then, look at this. They had big wins. Georgetown, Pitt, Villanova, Pitt. This season, they are picked 7, 7, and 6 by some of the leading pollsters. He hopes this will be a surprise team.
I'm going to tell you, if this is the 6th or 7th best team in the Big East is loaded with talent. This is a good basketball team.
I think they're going to surprise some people, which is probably a pretty good role for Seton Hall to be in. Wigington. Oh, my gosh. Down on his back, he's all right. Alvarado says, what am I supposed to do? He ran into my knee.
Get up here on my level. Get up at my eye level.
I can't block somebody that low on the floor. Alvarado 6'10", Wigington 5'4". First foul on him. Wigington will go to the line again.
You know, Gary, this is a club in Seton Hall. I mean, either one of these clubs win this tournament, I think you got to give them consideration for top 20. I think they've come in here and played very well. You know, and I really think if you're taking a vote, let's go back and look at something right now. Let's look at this replay. Look at Wigington right here. Alvarado, he got almost up to, ooh, he did take a bad spill.
It's hard on the lower back.
I was going to say, if you take a vote among the coaches and the media and the players, I don't think you'd have had these two teams in the finals. No. I really don't think so.
No, I agree with you. They both have played hard-nosed and aggressive basketball here. Wigington's got 4 points, all from the line, 4 for 4. 40-36. Seton Hall up by 4. Down to 2:30 to go in the half. Alvarado, the big man, over Ramos. Did not have the touch on that one. Ball's lost out of bounds. Officials checking with one another, and who got it last? It'll go up court. Pookie Wigington getting the big hand as he comes out of the chairs at the other end.
Pookie just did a triple jump. Triple jump on the line, over the table, and into the second row.
If you want attention in this game, it doesn't hurt to be 5'4". It helps if you're 7'3", but at the other end, if you're 5'4", you get a lot of sympathy. Here's Gaze for 2.
Well, he got Berry. He burned him. Gave him a little fake to the outside. Went back door, took it, shot the J.
Gaze has got 11 points in the game now. He's been averaging just over 9 per game coming into this game. And already over that in the first half. Randall, strong drive. Tipped up and in. But the push is going to be on the Jayhawks, so the basket will not count as Geldner shoved off.
You know, Gary, that foul is almost automatic. Every time a guy goes up, even if he doesn't touch him, I see that foul called more often. I can see it coming every time a guy goes up and tips one in or gets a rebound over the top of somebody else.
Number 30.
Yeah, you're right about that. I almost think it is automatic. It's one of those things where the referee assumes there must have been a foul for guys come from behind and tipped up over somebody's head.
And I think lots of times the guy doesn't even touch the guy in front of him. I don't think Gelner really got him right there, but it's almost automatic.
Gaze has got 12 points now. He's gone 4 for 6 from the floor, and that's his 4th point from the line. 4 for 6, or 3 for 5 rather, on 3-pointers in this game. He's had 3, and he gets 1 from the foul line again. 44-36. Each time Kansas gets back into it, Maddox underneath puts it in. Seton Hall's been able to get big points. 44-38.
Well, Kansas gets the ball up the sideline very quickly.
Wigington.
Pritchard couldn't keep up with Wigington. He went to the floor.
Good double team right there and a jump ball. Pritchard and Wigington tied up. Seton Hall will get the basketball in the arrow.
All right, now see, here's another rule change I'd like to see. If the defense makes a good play like that and they get a tie-up, I think they ought to be awarded the ball. Now this time, the ball's going to go back to Seton Hall, but the good defensive play was actually made by Pritchard. He gets in there and steals the ball. He's got a tie-up. Goes the other way.
Nullifies the good defense.
Exactly.
Ball lost out of bounds. Jayhawks able to play defense on that one. Tipped it away. Wigington, 44-38. Minute 30 left to go here in the first half. Seton Hall has the lead. They've been on top throughout here in the first half. Had the game tied a couple of times. Kansas has made some runs. Gaze. Wigington. Gaze in 3-point land, but passes it up. Bolsey, Nick Katsikas in there now, number 52. Wigington just kept that away from Pritchard. Blocked by Scooter Berry.
Scooter got a guy blocked 5-4.
He'll take a lot from his teammates on that one. 49 seconds left to go in the first half.
Oh, yeah, he'll go to the locker room. Did you see me? Did you see what I did?
He'll do that if they win. If they lose, they won't say anything about it for a couple of days.
Kansas in that zone. Boy, they're trying to get the ball inside.
3. Gaze missed it.
Avent got it.
Avent over Maddox. Yes. Good play. 2 points for Avent. Anthony Avent puts it in, and it's now 46-38.
Shot clock is off. Yep.
Pritchard setting it up. Yeldon. Kansas wants the last one. Berry. Pritchard checking the clock. Maddox. Berry. Going to try it himself. Katsikas on him. He got it. Good shot. That'll do it. 46-40 on the basket by Scooter Berry. Interesting first half as Roy Williams takes his club off and P.J. Carlesimo going the other way. The championship of the Great Alaska Shootout. We're at half.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And welcome back. Our championship game underway. The Great Alaska Shootout going on here. 46-40. Seton Hall on top in what has been a good first half. Kansas, the team that's had the battle from behind in this one. They've done it a couple times.
Well, they have. You know, it's kind of one of those ties, ebb and flow. Both teams coming at each other. And right now, I think Kansas might have a little bit of momentum going their way, although Seton Hall's playing awfully good defense.
Seton Hall's had most of the numbers. Let's take a look at them here as far as the shooting goes.
Here's the field goal percentages. Seton Hall, 57%. They're really high. Kansas, 45. What's contributing to that 57% for Seton Hall, Gary, is the fact that they're getting a lot of shots inside.
They've done a good job inside, and they've also done a pretty good job on their free throw shooting and their outside shooting as well. Take a look at what went on the other end of it.
Well, you can see Randall here with a nice pass on the cut to the inside. When you get pressure like that, Kevin Pritchard made the good cut on the back door, and that's the way you relieve that pressure. Here's the free throw percentages. Seton Hall just scalding it at 92%.
They've done
Kansas
that for
is not far behind.
They've done that almost the whole tournament. How about the three-point shooting early on?
Well, when you look at the three-point shooting, you got to talk about Seton Hall and Gage. Look at Gage. He had 3 of them in the first half. He's a good shooter. He is their best three-point shooter from the outside. He had 3 of the 4 that they've got, and 4 out of 10 is excellent shooting. When you're shooting at around 40% from the three-point range, you're all right.
And Gay's right now one of the leading scorer for them, and that's a little surprising because he's not had a particularly good tournament.
He isn't, and again, I didn't think Walker had his first half. He just went to sleep on us again.
You just get some big help from those guys. That's what you want. That's what you need. Here are the halftime stats for you. Rebounding-wise, again, Seton Hall with the advantage.
Yeah, but they've turned the ball over an awful lot, Gary, and that's the reason right now that they're not further ahead than just the 6 points they've got.
Now, the one they do not have the positive in is turnovers. Seton Hall's committed the big turnovers.
Now, Kansas really taking pretty good care of the basketball. It's just that they haven't been able to shoot the ball very well. I haven't think they've been shooting really well. They've gotten good shots. They just haven't dropped.
No, we said this game was going to be up and down the court, and that's what's happened for the first half. We'll be back. Second half coming right. Basketball as we get set for the second half of the Seton Hall Pirates on top by 6. Gary Thorne, Larry Conley with you. Good to have you on board for our Great Alaska Shootout. This is the final game. Some of the folks who've helped us out here in this one are engineers Lance and Becky Hankins, John Spaggy, Alan Fowler, our stats man Carl Jacobson. You talk about work, huh? Guy next to us here, my left-hand man, Larry on my right, has done a fantastic job for us. We appreciate it.
And I'm your right-hand man?
That's it. You're the right-hand man.
All right.
We're ready for the second half. Kansas gets the basketball. 46-40, they are trailing. We've got ourselves a good one going here for this championship in the 11th Great Alaska Shootout.
Seton Hall opens up again man-to-man, and Kansas is going to try to take advantage of it by going inside.
That's Newton. He got the
shot.
2.
Whoa, what a tough shot.
It's falling away sideways. That's a tough one.
Don't celebrate. Here comes Morton for a 3.
This is just the way we started before. Morton's got it. 49-42, Alvarado, Pritchard, Randall, partially blocked Ramos, and the rebound will be controlled by Walker. Big board right there. Here's Green back in the game. He set out most of the first half with the fouls. Walker off the front of the iron. Randall rebounding to Pritchard, to Barry. Pritchard, 3. Charging on the rebound was Newton, out of bounds. Morton hit it last.
Now let's see again if Darrell Walker has another second half. He's played 2 games in this tournament, had great second halves, and done nothing in the first half. He had 3 points in the first half of this game. He just missed a layup just a few seconds ago on that second possession that they had in their basket.
He went stronger to the basket, though, on that one time. I think he has the whole first half. Second half just seems to, something happens to him.
Somebody left a wake-up call for him and said, all right, here you are, you're playing now.
Newton trying it again. This time he gets fouled. And he'll pick up the foul on Morton. And Morton getting himself in foul trouble now for Seton Hall. He has 3. Newton has 3 on the other side for Kansas. So John Morton, his 3rd personal foul.
Newton was a little quiet in that first half. He only attempted 4 field goals, made 2 of them at 5 points. He's averaging 19.
Real quiet for that average, and he misses the first one off the line. Roy Williams, the coach of Kansas.
Gary, when you talk about a situation like that, one of 2 things is happening. 1, the guy's not having a good night, or 2, the defense is just stifling him. I think it's a combination of both.
Seton Hall has played a tough defense. He gets 1 out of 2. 6-point lead now for the Pirates of Seton Hall, who have the basketball. Alvarado pushing. Look at this one. Ramos hooked him a little and gets the 2. Nice move.
Ramos with that good post move. You get the ball inside, turn and go.
51-43. Ramos has 8 points now. Barry, Alvarado. That battle continues. Alvarado and Ramos right there. They're on each other. Travel violation.
He jumped up and down. He caught the ball, jumped up in the air, came down with it before he took the shot.
Kansas has kept the turnovers down. They only have 5 turnovers in this game. But they are trailing at 51-43 because all of the other stats have been to Seton Hall's advantage. Gerald Green coming up. Their playmaker from Brooklyn. Gaze. There's Green. Good move on Barry. Pritchard came over to help out. Randall with a rebound. Here's Newton. 3.
Yes. And he heard us talking about him.
Milton Newton gets it. The senior has got 11 points in the game now. 3 again. No, not that time. Now Kansas making the run off Morton's missed shot. Randall's there.
Oh, what a great pass. Again, Scooter Berry hitting Randall, breaking down the middle. Excellent pass.
And here we go again, 51-48, Larry. Every time one team gets up there around that 10-point lead margin, the other team comes back and guns it down. This time it's Kansas making the run again, 51-48.
Kansas in his own defense right now.
Going over the top of that one. Oh, what a block by Alvarado. Wiped out Ramos. Here's Pritchard. Walker commits the foul.
Well, just when you think you've got Kansas put away, and Seton Hall had 2 opportunities in the first half. They built it to 8 once and to 10 once, and they got it to 8 here in the second half, and they just make a run. They said, no, you're not putting us away. We're going to come back. And they're led by Pritchard. They're led by Berry. Randall on the break. Newton hitting the threes. Everybody contributing.
And Alvarado on that block, and there's Walker picking up. Now that's 3 on Walker, and Seton Hall some problems with Morton and Walker, each with 3. Kevin Pritchard, the junior. He's got 7 points in the game. Pritchard's had a big tournament. P.J. Carlesimo of Seton Hall a little concerned right here.
You know, I get really impressed when big guys run down the floor. When they get rebounds and they run down the floor to fill those lanes, it really helps your fast break, and Randall does that really well for Kansas.
Keeps everybody else moving. Look at that. Down to 1 point. 51-50. Seton Hall's lead at 1.
Cooper in the lineup now for Seton Hall.
There's Green, who'll work it outside. Senior from Brooklyn. Gaze.
Zone defense right now by Kansas.
Walker, Green, trying to pass over it. Cooper, double team, gets it off. He got blocked from behind by Alvarado, and Randall gets the rebound. 2 big blocks by Sean Alvarado. Gaze and Pritchard both moving, both going, and it's a charge on Pritchard.
Pretty good defensive work that time by Gaze. He got in the right position, drew the charge. I think Pritchard was a little bit out of control coming across that midcourt line.
Charging it up. Just the 6th turnover committed by Kansas. 51-50, Seton Hall. Pirates. Gaze. Walker. Green to Gaze. Cooper on the high post. Walker. Ramos and Cooper shifting high and low post. Ramos pass.
Almost lost it.
Almost that time. He just tipped that one by Alvarado. Cooper. Gaze. Green. Green in. Over Alvarado. Tough shot. Randall another rebound.
And Randall did a good job off of that glass.
That's 8 rebounds for Randall in the game. Scooter Berry, Alvarado and Ramos shoving and pushing. Alvarado. Kansas got the lead. Kansas on top, 52-51, battling back. 4 points for Alvarado. Ramos faking. Forced that one. Pritchard. Pritchard has Berry with him. Also the shot, and no good. Newton got it off and got fouled. Boy, we are really tearing it up now. Beads of sweat on everybody here in the first 4 minutes and 15 seconds of this half. We will get a timeout. 15:45 to go. The Great Alaska Shootout Championship game. 4 for 6 from the floor. Seton Hall's just 2 for 9 from the floor.
They missed a lot of easy layups inside.
3. No dice on that one. Rolled off. Milton Newton tried for it. Rebound's going to be pulled down by Seton Hall.
Well, Kansas had 4 guys on the offensive glass that time and 1 guy back.
Green now has 3 fouls. He picked up that last foul. That's Ramos. Boy, he's got a nice touch off the glass.
Ramos gets that ball down in there. He is dead. Just give it to him and let him go.
53-52. Lead starts to change hands now. Seton Hall back on top. Alvarado, the big man, over Ramos. Yes, sir.
But you notice every time Ramos gets one, Alvarado comes right back.
That's 4. Picked up underneath as Alvarado and Ramos are really having a personal duel under there at both ends of the court because they're guarding one another. Green, Morton, and Walker all have 3 fouls for Seton Hall. Newton, 3 for Kansas. 14:50 to go here in this final game of the Great Alaska Shootout. Green. Gaze.
Green out there trying to direct traffic. This Kansas zone defense is causing Seton Hall some problems.
They really don't know what to do with the basketball here. Gaze is not getting open enough to shoot from outside. There's a block by Alvarado again on Green. Scooter Berry.
I guess somebody unleashed a computer virus on Seton Hall's offense. They just look very disorganized.
Really slowed down here, not moving the ball the way they were. Pritchard over to Berry underneath to Alvarado. To Berry cutting, not a good pass. Walker got it. Gaze tipped it. Here's Green. Pritchard in front of him.
Nice crossover. Oh, he missed it.
Foul call. Pritchard. And Pritchard's got 3. Well, it would have been some shot if that had gone in.
I tell you what, he made a great move about 2 steps past the midcourt line. He did a little crossover dribble and took it to the other side. Pritchard never got there. Just had to foul it. Gerald Green has not scored a point in the game, and he's averaged 11. Kevin Pritchard with a foul sends Green to the foul line. Green with 3 fouls himself now, and 2 early in the first half set out most of it. Jake Carlisi, though, getting the instructions out there. Very funny man. Very funny man. Great dry sense of humor.
He's got to be a good after-dinner speaker, a great after-dinner speaker. Green puts it in. Now we'll get the change for Kansas as Mark Randall is right back in the game. Maddox goes out. Randall's played most of it. Green now with the point. Green from the free throw line in this tournament has gone 5 for 6. And he makes another 2 for 2 here in this game. 55-54. Pritchard.
What, 2 passes and they were into their offensive game.
Get it down quick. Minor underneath the Randall.
Walker, no offense. Randall.
Randall trying to get position on Walker.
Foul on number 42, the Jayhawk.
Yeah, we talked about that battle going on underneath between Ramos and on the other end Alvarado. They won the walk between Walker and Randall's not too bad either.
Real good personal duels in this game. Underneath. Good pass. Good feed underneath the setup. Franz Volsey, who's got 8 points. Volsey with 8 off the bench. Lincoln Minor now working. Pritchard. 57-54. Seton Hall back up on top by 3. Kansas had come back to get a lead here in this half. Got 13:30 left to go. Randall with Walker all over it. West, big man off the bench. Good block by Walker reaching in.
I'm telling you, he gets that wake-up call and he just plays out of his mind in the second half.
Makes the defensive play, scores the bucket, and has 5 points. 59-54. Seton Hall by 5. Randall, West, Freeman West. Deep rebound, Gelner Minor, taken away by Morton, thrown away by Volz. But it was last touched by Kansas. Kansas tipped that one. It'll be controlled by Seton Hall.
I don't know what happens to Walker. I'd like to find out what happens to him at halftime.
Somebody must have a real good one for the Gipper line in there. Gaze out to Green. Gaze likes to shoot that long ball. Not able to do it there. Morton, Walker. Morton. Plenty of time on the shot clock here. 22.
Well, Seton Hall really patient with that basketball right now. Don't hurry. Here goes Morton. He lost it.
He just lost that one. And Walker traveled. Moved the pivot foot. That's the first turnover by Seton Hall this half. Even though they have 13 in the game, one of the reasons they've been able to stay on top here is they're not committing them here in the second half. 12:30 left to go. Kansas with a basketball and a chance to cut into the 59-54 Seton Hall lead.
Kevin Pritchard just walking the basketball up the court.
Seton Hall has run 6 points.
Maybe one of these teams is getting a little tired, or maybe both of them are.
I would think both would be a little bit. Underneath, Randall. Put that one up over Walker.
Randall continues to have a good offensive game.
Ramos, the big man, is out. Now he's coming up off the bench. He's got to come right back in. Gaze almost caught going the wrong way that time. After that last basket, quick decision made that Seton Hall needed Ramos back in. P.J. Carlesimo's got him waiting at the table.
Green now telling Andrew Gaze to move over to the left side. They're going to run their offense.
Morton. Walker. Ooh, 2 men on him. Jumped it off to Volsey. Nice play.
How about the penetration of the pass that time by Walker?
Franz Volsey's got 10 points. Bench player producing here for Seton Hall. 61-56. Hall on top. Pirates leading it. Knew there was going to be a foul on that one. He's hanging on to his knee. Randall. He got jammed, sandwiched, and I think turned the knee on that one as the foul is going to be called on John Morton. He now has 4.
Fouls on number 23.
And Randall trying to walk it off here.
That's his 4th personal.
Yeah, we were talking about the fatigue factor. There are 2 things that really make you tired playing a basketball game. The running up and down the floor, obviously, if you're having to sprint a lot, and this game has been very much like that. Both teams having to go up and down the floor quickly. But the other thing is the constant pounding you have to take inside. If you've got big, heavy guys that are leaning on you constantly, and you're trying to fight your way across the lane, boy, that really wear and tear and that physical torture you have to go through and trying to get through those screens, that wears you out about as quickly as running up and down that court.
It's like a wrestling match and you're tugging with somebody. Randall's got it. Boy, is he having a strong game. 15 points, 8 rebounds. And he's 3 for 3 from the foul line.
You know, I was talking to Andrew Gaze's dad, Lindsay, today in the lobby of the hotel. He told me the biggest difference between international ball and this ball is a lot more physical than the international game.
And Gaze knows it. One of the reasons he still likes to take that outside shot. We'll be right back. Great Alaska Shootout final underway. 30 remaining to go in our Great Alaska Shootout Championship game.
Here's one of our keys to winning. When we opened the show, we said that Gaze had to return to the land of the 3. Well, he did it in the first half, but he's had no shots in the second half. But right now, Seton Hall has that 3-point lead. But for Randall from the field, and his work on the boards has been terrific. It's the reason that Kansas is within 3.
Randall with 14 points in this one. Pookie Wigington back in now for Seton Hall. They have a 61-58 lead. Very much a basketball game. Green having to go out of there.
Gary, I've noticed that Kansas has pretty much stayed with their zone defense. It looks like they're chasing a little bit right now.
Cooper.
A little bit of a matchup zone here.
Gaze. Wigington. Seton Hall's gone to that cross-court pass a number of times here.
Trying to see if they're going to get a cut through. No, they're in a man-to-man now.
Cooper, Ramos, great bounce pass over Randall. It's another one of those seeing eye passes.
And again, Ramos inside.
63-58. Almost tipped away Lincoln Minor. Newton, rather. What a play by Newton. He knew he was going to travel, so he dribbled the basketball while he was on one knee. That one's for 3. Off the front. Rebound tipped out. Maddox missed the 3-point attempt. Gelder got the deep rebound to Pritchard.
Michael Cooper is shadowing Milt Newton. He will not let him alone. Look at him. He's right up on top of him.
Not going to give him the shot. Randall. Pritchard. Maddox decided to pass up that one. Pritchard. Newton. Good D here by Seton Hall. Down to 10 minutes left to go here in the second half. Newton. Deep rebound again. And Pritchard's got it. That's 2 of those. Picked up by Kansas. Stolen Wigington. Pritchard with him. Drew the foul. Nice play by Pookie Wigington, and Pritchard going, oh, give me a break. How can he do that to me?
Did you see Kevin Pritchard's look at Wigington when he walked by? What's the steal? Just whips it right out of his hand, goes to the other end, he lays it in, and here comes the foul. Kevin Pritchard just gave him a how can you do that to me kind of stare.
Pritchard's got 4 fouls now. Pritchard goes to the bench. Scooter Berry back in.
Look at that.
The eyes tell the story of the soul. Pookie Wigington, you're a pain in the butt right now to him, I'll tell you. Wigington's got it.
Ray Tipton, our producer in the drop, just came up with a great shot. Nice going in there, pal.
Ray Tipton produced all of our games here in the Great Alaska Shootout.
He's a happy man. His Bengals won yesterday, so, you know, he's okay.
He's okay. Newton, 65-58, Seton Hall. Maddox, good turn. Yes, indeed.
I'm amazed at the proficiency these 2 teams have of getting that ball inside and getting it up and in the way they do. They're very, very good. That pass, that inlet pass coming in from the outside, and they just turn and just kiss it off the glass or shoot the little baby hook.
They do it in a hurry. Now 65-60 with 9:27 to go. Cooper. Gaze wants 3. Yes! 16 points. Larry said Gaze was going to score for Seton Hall to win.
He picked a good time for his first shot of the second half.
Gets another 3-pointer. Foul committed underneath on John Volsey. Stopping the clock with 9:09 remaining, P.J. Carlesimo. Mighty happy that Andrew Gaze has joined the ball club, and he had to do a lot to do it. This is the final of the Great Alaska Shootout here at Anchorage, George M. Sullivan Arena. Big crowd on hand for this one. In our preliminary game, it was Kentucky coming away with a win over California. And that one's around and in.
Kansas really shooting well from the free throw line in this basketball game.
Mike Maddox with 7 points, and Kansas.
Well, I said that they're 11 of 15, but Seton Hall is just 16 out of 17.
Just that much better. Maddox gets it. So Maddox gets a couple. Alvarado, the big man, comes back in. Mentioned Ray Tipton, our ESPN producer. Coordinating producer has been Greg Emig. Steve McKean's been our director. Terry Burge, our technical director. Pam Barfus, coordinator. Holly Campbell, our producer. Wigington dropping it off. And he'll take it back deep.
You know, he has no fear. He takes the ball in there and looks for somebody to pass to, and if they don't come and get him, he'll shoot it.
He'll shoot it, and he'll get it. Michael Cooper. He's got 4 points in the game, and it's 70-62. Seton Hall leading by 8. Geldner looking for the big man underneath. Newton on Cooper, and Cooper fouls him.
You know, I think that if he'd let that move by Newton down the lane go, I don't think he had a good shot at the basket. He had to reach in at the last minute, felt that pressure of having to try to block the shot. Michael Cooper reached over and fouled Newton. Now he's going to send him to the line. I really think he had a bad shot there.
It's one of those where you automatically make the foul, I think. It's so tough to back off in that situation. 11 points picked up here by Newton at the line. 12. 70-63. Newton from the line, 2 for 3. 12 points for him. Kansas 13 for 17 from the foul line. He's got another one. So Newton cuts the lead to 6 of Seton Hall. 8 minutes, 27 seconds remaining. Both these clubs looking for the championship of the 11th Great Alaska Shootout. Avent in the game. Boy, Kansas really putting the defensive heat on right now. Newton on Cooper. Ramos wants to move on Alvarado. Newton helped out. Gaze.
Oh, that was great defense. That was a great defensive surge there by Kansas.
Avent on Newton. Got the lane. Reverse. Avent right around Newton. Anthony Avent with 4 points. 72-64. Seton Hall holding on to their lead.
You never let the man drive the baseline on you. And Newton did that time, and he got burned.
Newton out deep. Alvarado. Randall cutting to the top. Had it tipped away. Geldner picks it up to Scooter Berry. Underneath, Alvarado. Right over Ramos. Couldn't get it to go down. Geldner over Ramos again. Avent the rebound. Pookie Wigington coming. Has Cooper with him. Scooter Berry there. Wigington.
Can't play this game. Watch it again. Pookie Wigington on the break. Berry retreating, trying to fake him out defensively. Forget it. I'm going to lay it in. Yes.
Good move. His arms just barely long enough to be able to draw the ball back far enough to get that shot off. He's got 8 points in the game. 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Pookie Wigington gets it, and it's 75-64 as Seton Hall has stretched that lead of the championship game. Seton Hall had its first 20-win season last year as they ended up 22-13, and for that, P.J. Carlesimo was the coach in the Big East. And you see the numbers he put up, their first ever NCAA tourney bid. A guy who was battling for his job at the first of the year now has a club that just may be a sleeper this season in Division I basketball. There he is. And he's hoping right now that his club can hang on. 75-64, they lead it, looking for the championship here and a 3-0 start on the season. They get the win here tonight. But Kansas has battled back in this game before, and they get plenty of time, over 7 minutes left. Scooter Berry.
A lot of bumping going on underneath.
Maddox out deep. Geltner for 3. Good rebound by Cooper.
Here comes Pookie.
Becoming a star up here in Alaska, I'll tell you. He want to open a restaurant before he leaves. Newton all over him. Good getaway to Cooper. Gaze. And Seton Hall looks like they're going to call for a set play. Carlesimo hollering for it.
DJ off the bench saying, let's run some clock.
6:33 remaining here.
Avent says, forget it.
No foul, and Geltner lost the basketball, and Maddox looking up saying, how come? Maddox tried to draw the charge that time. Couldn't do it. Pritchard's coming back in for Kansas. Scooter Berry's coming out.
If Kansas is going to get back in this basketball game, they need a run here. They need about an 8-point to 10-point run. Seton Hall is just preventing them from doing it. They're playing so well.
Ramos takes the pass in. Here's his big territory down there.
Well, he's just carved out an inch down there. When he gets it, forget it.
Boy, can he kiss a ball off the backboard. 14 points for Ramos, and they've been big points in the game. He's come up with big shots underneath. Long two-shot attempt by Milt Newton.
Looks like Nureyev turning in the air on that one.
77-66. Seton Hall on top with 6 minutes left to go. Seton Hall had run off 7 in a row for that last basket. Gaze, 3-point leader in this game, working on Lincoln Minor. Got the baseline, tipped one away. Avent tipped it, Lincoln Minor got it. He's got Pritchard, Minor, Pookie, Washington. Hello, Ramos alone. Raymond West deflected in a foul on Anthony Avent. 79-66. His club's on top, Seton Hall.
You gotta love Pookie. You gotta love him.
This guy's got 9 points in the game now. 7 for 7 from the free throw line. A couple of steals.
You know, you worry about the big guys in basketball, but I worry about those guys too, because you never know where they are. Just like in a pro game. You know, you turn around, there's Spud Webb from the Atlanta Hawks. He's always somewhere, and he's always going to give you an extra little burst, a little quickness.
West missing it. Roy Williams shouting out encouragement here. West has 5, 6. 79-67. And the Jayhawks going to change it up again, bringing Randall back in. Down to 5 minutes and 25 seconds left. Kansas will begin to think about the press.
I'll tell you something, it's going to be tough to press with Pookie handling the basketball.
Well, what a job he's done. Green got in foul trouble early in the game. That's how Pookie Wiggins can get in this game in the first place. And he's played so well that he's kept Green, their playmaker, on the bench.
Hey, and PJ's got to be happy to see this. I mean, he's got a backup point guard who's developed here in the Great Alaska Shootout.
Absolutely. Knocked away. Ramos got it back to Gaze. 2. Cooper. Strong board. Michael Cooper makes it 81-67. Seton Hall on top with 4:44 remaining. 6 for Cooper. Pritchard, Minor, Milt Newton. Pritchard. Maddox. Door's been shut now, and Maddox reaching in. Cooper an elbow. Cooper walking away, took a shot. Now Maddox and Walker have words. Pookie Wiggins is in there trying to break it up.
That's it, Pookie. Break it up, pal. Don't let anybody fight.
Fouls on number 32 of the Jayhawks. Mike Maddox.
There's Maddox with the original foul. There's our little elbow.
See Maddox right there. He's trying to walk away from it, and Ramos gives him a little verbal shot. Says, come on, big fella. That Pookie comes in. Pookie's going to break it up.
That's Pookie's head.
That's Pookie power. That's what it is. Pookie's going to drag him away.
81-67.
Look at him. Here we go.
Lincoln Minor cut him off. 81-67. Seton Hall with the basketball in the lead. Cooper had it knocked away and out of bounds. Good reach in by Newton. Well, we're thanking people, our graphics people, Gary Lamar, Dave Hill, our audio people, Randy Johnson, Belinda Friedman, people on the tape, Dave Robertson, Paul Dolan. Tremendous work. Thank you very much. Cooper.
Good trap by Kansas in there, and they got away from it. Cooper with a good pass. Wigginton back to Cooper.
Yes. I think there's some banging going on underneath. Maddox and Ramos are in a bear hug under there. 83-67. Seton Hall building the lead now with 3:55 left. Pritchard got it and drew the foul. Anthony Avent commits the foul, his second. You see the man off the bench from Newark, New Jersey. He's a Prop 48 player, had to sit out a year, back in. Scooter Berry getting set to come back in, maybe. Miners coming out of the game.
Kansas got to begin to think about putting their small lineup in there for a press.
Pritchard's got 7 points. On the line here, gets the first. 83-68.
That man has done a masterful job of coaching in this early season. On his way to perhaps winning his Great Alaska Shootout. And it could be very well his game.
And giving a lot of confidence to his club here with the way they've performed here. 3:51 to go in our championship matchup. Right now, it's Seton Hall. Seton Hall needing to run down just 3 minutes and 51 seconds on this clock to come away with this Great Alaska Shootout Championship. They've got the basketball. The press is on by Kansas. That's Wigginton. He wanted the foul, talking to Berry as he brings it up court. Gaze, Wigginton, Gaze, 3. Cooper, big rebound.
Good hustle by Cooper that time.
6 rebounds.
He outfought Geldner on the far side. Keeps it alive for Seton Hall.
Cooper with 6 boards. Pritchard almost the steal. Geldner has it. Cooper trailing, axing. Draws the foul. Geldner got slashed on that one. Second foul. 83-70. 71. Geldner gets the 2 from the foul line. Kansas with 3:16 to go, trying to pour the heat on here. Gaze trying to draw the foul.
Boogie says, go, go, go. Get away. Leave me alone.
Going to be double teamed here. Scooter Berry on him. Kansas all over him. Wigginton almost went backcourt. He was right on the line when he spun around that time. 23 in the shot clock. Gaze the fake. Come up with the basketball. 83-71. The clock working against Kansas. Gaze got it. He has had a big game.
Nice pull-up.
18 points for Gaze. 85-71. 3-point attempt. Pritchard got it. And they won it immediately.
Might not be the guy you want to foul. Green can make free throws.
Green's going to go to the line right here again. The only hope Kansas has now is that Seton Hall will miss free throws and turn the basketball over that way. P.J. Canlesimo trying to keep his guys up here to finish this game out and come away with a championship. And a 3-0 start on the season if his Pirates hang on. They beat Utah and Kentucky, and now trying to take Kansas.
Gary, there are 2 parts of this game that I really think Seton Hall has really excelled in. One has been their defense. Their defensive work has been outstanding. They've done a nice job of pressuring the basketball. They've created a lot of turnovers. The second thing they've been able to do is they've been able to pound that ball inside and get easy shots and easy fast break layups. So it's really been 3 things. The fast break layups have really helped. They've beaten Kansas down the floor a couple of times.
They have done that. Green has picked up just 3 points in the game, and he's gotten them all from the free throw line. And Seton Hall, 18 of 19 from the free throw line. Difference in this game right there. The charity stripe. 86-74, 87-74. Seton Hall's also had a great floor game. They're 60% here in this second half from the floor. Kansas at 44%.
It's a difference in the ball game. I mean, you get easy shots, you get layups, you're going to get high percentage.
Yep, that's what they've done. Pritchard over the top. Alvarado knocked it away. Controlled by Scooter Berry. He got it and he got fouled. That's a big bucket right there with 2:10 remaining to go. Kansas trying to make the big run here. 87-74. Williams making changes on every whistle here. He tries to get the big guys in when they've got the basketball offensively, and then going to the line here, he brings the faster guards in to put the press on.
And they're down 11 with 2:10. A couple of turnovers, a couple of threes. You never know.
Barry's got 7 rebounds in this game. He puts it up, gets the three-point play. 87-77. 10-point lead. Clock running at 2 minutes. Green. Barry on him. Kellner came over to help. Gaze. Kansas going to have to foul here now. The clock running down. Still 30 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Green. Barry on him. He's going in and out. Hands off to Cooper. Still 17 on the shot clock. Lincoln Minor couldn't get it. Green into Scooter Barry. Barry commits the foul, trying to cut him off. 1:37 remaining.
I'm going to start touting Seton Hall for top 20. I really believe they belong there. This is a good basketball team.
I think the way they've played in this tournament indicates indeed they are. Probably they are at this point just as happy not to be. They'll take the underdog role for the moment here before they get into that big 8 East action.
You know, they're very solid. Their starting lineup of Morton, Ramos, Walker, Green, and Gaze, very solid. I mean, they got good size. They don't have a big man, but they're a good defensive club, and they're quick. And they've got good bench strength, and Michael Cooper, Anthony Avin off the bench, and Franz Volsey coming off the bench has played very well for them.
It's a lot of depth.
So they got 8 guys, and don't forget Pookie. We can't forget Pookie.
Nobody's going to forget Pookie after this game, especially Seton Hall. Green now, 5 points, all from the line, 5 for 5. They're tearing it up on the free throw line. They've done that all this tournament. Now 21 for 22 from the line. It's had an incredible tournament. The whole team has from the free throw line. 89-77 for 3. Scooter Barry. Gaze lost it. Scooter Barry saved it. Good play.
What a pass.
3-point effort. No good by Newton. Gaze fouled all over the place. No. Jump ball first. But Seton Hall retains possession. Seton Hall retains possession as another good defensive play that does not result in the defense getting the basketball. And it's 16 remaining to go. Ramos.
Let Green handle it. Put the ball in his hands. It's a big win for the Pirates. Good for their program. They finished up the year last year in a strong manner. They won their first ever NCAA game against Texas El Paso. They were beaten by Arizona. They're picking it right up where they left off. They're going to start winning. They won 3 in a row.
Turn that one over. They'll be playing St. Peter's next, and then they move in against St. John's, Rutgers. First couple of games, and then they'll 1st of January will start the big run of league play. Blocked. Volsey blocked it. Alvarado, Ramos, Cooper finally gets it. Down to 49 seconds remaining to go here. Seton Hall about to wrap up Great Alaska Shootout Championship. Green off. That brings the bench up. Put a ribbon on it. Scooter Barry's down on the floor. He may have turned an ankle on that last play away from the play. 39 seconds remaining.
Here's the play. Green's got the basketball, and he's trying to find his way through traffic, and you found Michael Cooper right there, and the Coop put it in the hoop.
I like that. Longfellow. 91-77. Brought up by Pritchard. Minor. There's the whistle, and that's going to be a foul committed away from the play. Alvarado, the big man.
The foul's on John Alvarado, his second.
Alvarado commits the personal foul, and we'll go back the other way. We also want to thank all the people involved here at the University of Alaska Anchorage who have been our hosts. Don Birand, who's the chancellor of the university. They've been great hosts, treating everyone with the greatest of about everything you can give. Time and quality people who have donated their time here. Lots of volunteers work on this. Volsey's got it. Ron Petro, the director of athletics. Tim McDivitt, who's been in charge of everything going on here, the assistant. Pete Ginder, an attorney in town who was the volunteer chairman. Dave Ruffett, Dale Allen, the halftime coordinator for us. Thank you, Alaska Anchorage, for some great help. Down now to 23 seconds. Pritchard. Hello, working on hang tying himself that time. 92-79. Seton Hall on the verge of winning this one. Time running out here. And Gaze is called on the charge. Gaze has led Seton Hall and all scorers in this game with 18. Ramos has had 16. But Gaze the leader offensively. For Kansas, Pritchard has picked up 14. Randall, the leader for them right now, is 16. Newton, 15. They spread their scoring out pretty well. So is Seton Hall, though. They've gotten everybody into it. Pritchard trying for another 2, and he gets it. He's got 16 now. Ties him with Randall for the team lead in scoring, and they'll take the timeout. 92-81. We talked about Mr. Gaze, Andrew Gaze, who is an interesting story. His dad, Lindsey Gaze, has been his coach most of the way along. Lindsey Gaze, coach of the Olympic team and also of the national basketball team down under. And he has been a big part of Andrew Gaze's careers. What happened for Seton Hall is Carlesimo took a team down there, a Big East All-Star team, to play in Australia, and they played against Gaze. When he saw how well Gaze played, he came up and got him, and that's it. 92-81, the final score, Seton Hall. P.J. Carlesimo on your right. Roy Williams congratulating him as the Great Alaska Shootout Championship for the 11th season of this tournament goes to Carlesimo and the Seton Hall Pirates, who start their season 3-0 with victories, including this one over Kentucky and one over Utah. 3 wins for them in the Great Alaska Shootout. Kansas will be the runner-up, starting out 2-1 on the season. And you can tell the Seton Hall Pirates, a mighty happy group. As there you see the awards that will be made. There will be an MVP announced for the tournament. And, of course, an all-tourney team also will be announced here. But for right now, it's Seton Hall's celebration, and Kansas, the defending NCAA champs, sitting and looking on as they're the ones who will have to pick up the runner-up trophy in this one. But for Kansas, an impressive showing, I think, for the young club they are and for all that they've had to go through. And there's Pookie Wigington. He's become a hero at Seton Hall in light of his play in this game. Coming in for Gerald Green, who ran into foul trouble early. Pookie came on to have himself a big game, including an outstanding game at the line, the foul line, as he draw fouls. And that's going to be our final. There you see it, the Great Alaska Shootout. The champions, the Seton Hall Pirates. They win it over the Kansas Jayhawks, our final, 92-81.
Thank you, gentlemen. P.J. Carlesimo, last year the Big East Coach of the Year. He's certainly the best coach in Alaska right now as they win the Great Alaska Shootout. Before